The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answers to the human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers, and you can transform your life. Right now on WWNN in South Florida, Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2 hours, listen and call in toll-free, 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and share love and light.
Won't you be a part?
Yes, indeed. There's a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. Tonight, we're talking about life, the meaning of life. Why are we here? What is the purpose? And what are we meant to do on this planet? What is the journey of the soul? Each one of you has your own specific journey, and we're welcoming your questions regarding life, your career, your junctures at this point. Where do we go? We're welcoming your questions regarding finances and journeying with family. Perhaps that love question. That's forever the popular question. What does love have to do with it? Well, plenty, when we're trying to find that person that is meant to be our person. And the meaning of life is, of course, to connect with someone. We are not meant to be solitary beings. We are not meant to be alone. We are meant to be connected to others. We're meant to form community and to join together and celebrate every moment of life. So is life simply just getting up in the morning and preparing your family for the day and running off to work and living your day at work and returning home? There's so much more to the meaning of life, but somehow we've become enslaved by our day-to-day activities, the obligations that we've had in our life. And each one of us is meant to grow and connect on this beautiful journey of life. But it's not always easy because we have obligations. We have responsibilities. And all of these obligations and responsibilities, they seem to weigh down the joy, the harmony, the just ability to be. How often do you have that opportunity to be? How often do you feel the energy of where you are and just totally take it in? Or are you just racing from thing to thing, from person to person? It is a time of great expression of self when we live our life. But often we don't take that time. Do you know what your thoughts are? Or are your thoughts being disrupted by someone else, by someone else's needs or an obligation? Where are we in the circle of our being? The energy that's ever flowing, ever present, always moving. Where are we in this journey? Do you spend the quiet time to be with self? You see, the meaning of life and all of its beauty is all about us, individually, standing in the harmony and the flow of all that is and all that we will become. We are forever becoming. And in the becoming is the word be. And in order to become, we must simply be. The meaning of life brings us together of family and friends and love and connections. It is the ability to bring life onto the planet and to tend to that life. The meaning of life is to show kindness and love to another. It is the purpose of our soul to expand while living this human experience, navigating day-to-day activities, yet still remaining connected to the divine, having an awareness that there's something greater than us, tuning into us, guiding us, nudging us along the path of life. You see, time passes by so quickly. We've experienced such a rapid quickening of time in the past few years. But even if you go back, doesn't it seem like just the other day you were 10 or 16, maybe 25? And now where are you in the journey of life? Do you feel as if you are moving towards the end of your journey? And what does one show for one's life? What gave the breath of life meaning for you? And how did you articulate your meaning, your purpose, your journey in this life? You see, each one of us has a very unique place. We are all interwoven in the tapestry of life. There are no accidents. Everything is orchestrated for a higher plan. And there's a series of versions of choices that we have on the path of life. And according to the guides, the angels, the divine, there's really no wrong choice. It's just the choice. And when we make the choice, it's for us to be content with the choice, regardless of the outcome, because that too will serve us to our greater good. Even those moments when you went left and suddenly halfway down the road you realize, my goodness, I should have went right. It is the time for each one of us to mean what we say and say what we mean, and say it not from our mind and not from our words or our thoughts, but from our heart. And to allow our heart to be the light that shines forth and to speak our truth, but with love. To be in the energy of kindness, not angst and frustration. To be in the energy of where we have always wanted to be, harmony. You see, as a young being that came onto the planet, tended by your parents, you had a sense of oneness. A oneness that was greater than the family that presented itself in the moment of birth. It was a oneness with all that was part of the universe and all that was within you. And along the journey of life, the meaning of life took on a whole nother path because it needed to adjust to the physical expression. And that physical expression was just learning to survive, learning what parent we needed to please and how we needed to behave and what was expected of us at school. And then the meaning of life became learning to play and have fun with others and to join with friendship. And then navigating whatever was happening in the family unit, be it positive or uncomfortable or negative, learning to adjust and remain centered but pleasing to the parents because we were so reliant on them in the early years that we must serve the parents because they were our provider. And then we emerge into our teenage years and the meaning of life, why it changes. It's about self-expression and the adventure of being youthful and young and yet able to choose and decide what you liked and who you were, how you wore your hair, what defined you, what enlightened you, what directed you. And it was a time for you to align with friends and realize that friends were friends, and some, well, they really didn't stand by your side, and then choosing those that aligned more with you and the you that you were becoming to be. Because the teenage years, well, they just seemed to set you free. And they moved from an energy of how you've come to be. And for you to learn what is most important at that time. And a vision and a joy and a harmony was raised up before you, something that shined out in the energy of what you could be, and the glimmer of hope came upon you like a mighty thrust of energy and love, and suddenly you had a dream. And the meaning of life was who you were to become, but it was with a purpose and a career and what you could do. So you set off from the high school years and you move yourself into the young adult years. And then we realize the world is not what we thought it was. And the greatness that was within may get watered down because of opinions and judgments and qualifications that must be met to please another so that we could step on the path that we've chosen. But it was not for us to know until we put our foot upon the path. And then all the memories of all the things that we endured in our early years, those difficult times come flooding back as a young adult. And we say, wow, maybe they were right. Maybe I'm not good. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Or maybe I can. And whatever the early training was, whatever that force of light that was behind you from the family unit comes bursting through, and whatever the darkness was, it melted within you. And suddenly you had to choose the path of who you would be, because now suddenly the world around you depended on you because someone depended upon thee. And in this energy of where you were and what you choose to do, you began a cycle of expectations and what's next. And you walked down the path of the career, meeting the levels and expectations to please another, only to get a little bit of reward for all your hard work and all of your education. And then we embraced a partner and created family, and the meaning of life took on a different meaning, to birth a child and to bring forth more, and to bring in the world another piece of you. But then the meaning of life became weighted down, and suddenly we realized that the we, the me, the you, the all that we were at one time in those early years has gotten weighted down and buried amongst the actions and reactions and obligations of where we are at that moment. And suddenly we find this energy of, I don't know who I am any longer. And the question mark rides in our head for several years while we struggle meeting the obligations and the connections of all that we have embraced in our circle. And open-heartedly, many of us move forth and we share with family and friends. But somewhere inside, we ask the question, who am I? And what is the meaning of life? And so as we journey, as age becomes more, much like the fine wine that we're meant to be, we have aged over time. The harmony of life has picked up a new rhythm. And suddenly then, at that moment of time, we stop and we realize that our life is out of line. They call it a midlife crisis that might not be understood. So we capture our youth in a different way. We find a new expression because we're simply just trying to save who we thought we were. But little did we realize that who we were was just a stepping stone of our greatness, and everything that has happened from that point on, that young little being has been molded and shaped from the world that we know, or from the higher guidance that gave us the breath of life. But suddenly we're so much more aware of the world that we've been in. We don't know if we're connected. We don't know if we fit in. We don't understand if the divine is ever present. And so we sit in the darkness and wonder what's next for this expression of life. And then the meaning of life begins to change as we recognize that there are those that we've cared of, that have cared for us, that depart the planet. And we cryfully, mournfully wait in the darkness of night, praying that they could feel us and hear us because they are here no more. And as we sit in the energy of what has been, we hold on to the memories so tightly. And everything we do is filled with the emotions of regret and joy and all the things that once were. And we look over the past and the relationships that didn't last. We look over the friendships that fell by the wayside, recognizing that we've outgrown, but still wishing that things could have been the same. And so the meaning of life is forever changing. And then we come to the times where we may be at this moment, when the world is not what we thought it would be, when everything seems crashing down around. And then we recognize that all that we've seen does not define who we are in this moment of time. It is a marker of contrast for us to see, but it is not for us to let within and let it be who we become to be. It is just an energy that surrounds us, that is part of an expression of a part of us, a part of all of us, and where we have been in the moments of time that we were dissatisfied and misaligned. And so we begin now in this latter half in the meaning of life to hold on to everything that was good and release all the strife. We step into the energy of love and decide who we can be. And then we realize that life is meant to be nothing but harmony. So we choose our friends and cut away, and we narrow down the circle ever so small, yet ever so pure. And we sit for hours in meditation and prayer, and we ask for the divine to open us up and let us know that the divine is there. But what we didn't realize all along is the divine had never left. Our loved ones that left the planet, they're right there too. There are angels and guides that are here to help us along the way. And the meaning of life is all that it will ever be. The opportunity to be a unique expression of who you've come to be. The opportunity to shine your light in your own unique way. The meaning of life is not to be measured by another's tears and fears. It is to be measured by who you are in this moment of time. It is the opportunity to shine beyond what you could ever imagine if you just give yourself the opportunity to allow the energy to flow in this moment that you have. And then the meaning of life is the legacy you leave behind, the kindness, the joy that you've shared with so many. It's the opening that lets you unlock something unique. It is the opening that lets you choose what you close so that you can move forward and let those in that you care for. It is the meaning of life that gives you the breath that sustains all that is around you. For on this day, no matter where you are always connected, and it's never too far. So your meaning of life may not be mine, may not be the others, or those who have been in your past or your future. Your meaning of life is unique, and it is for you to sit and to be, and to recognize the beauty within can never be taken. The talent and blessings that are yours for the taking are always available, and no one can remove them from the being that is you. For every aspect of you is perfectly perfect in its own imperfect human way, because the light that you are is the being that's come to be. The meaning of life is so important for all of us. And now, as our lives are changing and the world that we thought we knew seems ever so far away, and a new world is upon us, we must stand true to who we are and just be. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we welcome your calls here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. We are answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here, answering all of life's questions. So stay with us, everyone. Don't go away, because you know we'll be right back.
Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your soul? Because you know.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Are you looking for answers to life's questions? Would you like to connect with your angels and loved ones? Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. for Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, an interactive call-in show. Call in at 888-565-1470 and speak with Sarah Spiritual. Let Sarah Spiritual raise you up.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Have you heard me? Do you see me? Do you know my voice? I am Sarah Spiritual, and we are spiritually speaking to all of you all across the nation at 888-565-1470, answering your questions, life's questions. What has life thrown at you this week? What's going on? The world is really going through some changes, and we want to hear what you have to say, and we most certainly want to help you navigate those changes. And we're welcoming our friends on Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to leave your question in the feed. We'll be answering those as well. This is our 642nd live show. We've been hanging with all of you since 2009, and I can't imagine a better group of people to hang with and better conversations. Each one of your questions have been an opportunity for all of us to learn and for all of us to grow. So we're going to go to the phone lines, and we're going to go to Winter Garden. We have Amanda on the line. Amanda, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. How are you doing tonight?
I am well, thank you so much, Amanda. Good to connect with you tonight. And this is just such a powerful time for you. This time really represents the advancement of your career, moving yourself forward, receiving accolades, getting a financial increase from your job, and really finding a place for yourself in work and career. Have you been feeling that lately?
I have. I've been getting a lot of recognition. I'm really known over at the program's office with my job.
Great.
And I think they're watching and they know that I don't want to leave. I did get my extension, so I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Great, great. So to me, the extension is like a promotion, right? That means they want to keep you on to be a part of the program and to be part of the beautiful environment that you've chosen to be a part of. So, Amanda, what is your burning question for us tonight?
I was wondering if there's a way to connect with Grandpa and Grandma and to know if they're watching over me. I'm connecting with a lot of his students and even working with his students that are down here where I'm working.
Absolutely.
I've been getting a lot of signs.
A lot of signs. And many of the things that you've been feeling is the presence of your grandfather. And grandfather's very much in your presence, especially in the morning hours when you're outside in that environment that you're in. And I'm being shown a bird that comes to you. And this bird is a message that tells you that I'm okay and I'm with you.
Yes.
Yes. And this bird on your shoulder is constantly. And it's like there's a bird looking over your shoulder just so that you know that you are still under his watchful eye, all right? And he does feel that you hold the space of his love in your heart, and that connection has been carried on through these past few months of the separation between the two of you. And although he didn't get to say goodbye in person, he's with you always. And that is something that he wanted to really say goodbye in those last final moments, but you were not able to be there because you were not aware of everything that was going on. Is that correct?
Yes, I wanted to be in the room some way, somehow, whatever condition he was in, holding his hand as he was going.
Yes. And you weren't able to quite really get there at that moment, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And he also lets me know that the grandmother greeted him, his wife. And so she was there for him. And when I look at the energy between the two of them, you know, they had an interesting relationship.
A bird just flew over by me.
Really? Well.
Yes.
Well, of course we are in Florida, so I'm sure there's some birds flying, but I'm just teasing. Yes, I'm sure that's a message, all right? And I want you to look for the signs and the symbols, but please understand that grandmother's there on the other side. She was there to greet him, as was a gentleman connected to him that feels like he's the brother. Was there a brother who passed connected to your grandfather?
Yes.
Okay. This man stands right next to him, all right? And he too had a long battle with a disease in his body, feels like a cancer. Not sure if you're aware of how he passed, but he greeted him.
We never got the closure.
Okay. So he is there with him, and they're all united at this time. So know that grandfather is in peace, grandmother, and your great uncle is with him as well.
Yeah.
All right. Good job at work. The universe has your back, my darling. So just be open to new possibilities of expansion there and look for ways to challenge yourself to grow and develop and let all the drama just settle itself, all right?
Okay. I've been getting reached out. There's some sort of dedication or gathering going on, getting planned for him up in Connecticut. Are you seeing anything?
I'm not seeing anything at this time. I'm not seeing any dedication. And at this moment, you have quite a bit of a journey at your work. So stay focused there, Amanda. All right?
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye. Have a good night.
You too. 888-565-1470. And from Winter Garden, I've got to go to Illinois. We've got Yvonne on the line. Yvonne, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine, Sarah. How are you?
I am very well. I am made aware that there are many things that are in transition with you. What is your question?
First question is, I have a contract that's been working in my house, and about a week ago I put my mink coat back in there because they was just about doing the hard work. And all of a sudden, a few days later, I didn't see the coat. I thought it might have been in another closet. It wasn't in there. It was a very expensive mink. And the contract I'm trying to get set up polygams for who took my coat.
Yes. Most certainly you did not misplace it. There is someone who took that coat. There were two gentlemen that were working at one particular time near that room. Were you there at that time?
Yes, ma'am, but
Okay.
they were putting my bedroom furniture back. It was wrapped up from their storage.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There were two men that were doing most of that work. It is one of those two. Okay.
I had only two black. The rest of the other five was Mexican.
Okay. I just know it was one of the two that were handling the things in that room. All right.
They wrapped it up and took it out.
Yes.
Will I get it back with the polygraph?
Well, is the company assisting you?
The company that is working for me. Yes, they're very well.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have to hope that they are able to retrieve it quickly. All right. But I do know that it was taken. You did not misplace it. So this is something for them to investigate for you. We're going to hold the vision and the energy of your receiving that back in good condition. And that's what I see for you at this time. I don't have that guarantee that you're looking for because I get the sense that there's some action. We may want to check local pawn shops in the process. So alerting the police.
I did the police already.
All right.
And I'm trying to get at the polygraph people, but they so booked up, I got to try to find some more real quickly.
Yes, and I understand that it's important that you check the pawn shops. That's what I'm hearing, because I feel like that might be where it ended up.
Okay.
So, however, you can investigate that or ask the police to investigate. I know they're busy, but this is what I'm being led to tell you, all right?
Okay. I have another
Yes.
question. The last time I spoke to you, February or March, you
Yes.
told me that my business needs to close. So I closed the
Yes.
store, put everything in U-Haul storage,
Yes.
and they're going up. Do you know what's my next move? Am I going to reopen a store, or should I be contemplating on selling everything?
Contemplate on selling everything. It's really a big undertaking for you in a time where there's so much for you to do. It's a time for you to lessen the load upon you. All right?
Okay. It's my life, but I have to let go. So pray that I let go do what I need to do.
You're more than capable of doing what you need to do. And I see the energy around you as being favorable for you to be able to sell the items however you choose to do it, whether it's online or just doing a little pop-up something somewhere and announcing it. This way you don't have that consistent overhead. You see, it's very important that you don't hunker yourself down with too much at this time.
Okay.
And there's much love on the other side. A young man stepped forward who's in a position of a sun energy.
Uh-huh.
And he says that he sends you much love.
Oh, my God. Okay. Okay. And one more question,
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
With also our state paying for everything, all of this drama that I'm going through right now and things that they didn't do, they will pay me, right? I'm insured on every hand.
Well, it's, Yvonne, some of this is a little complicated for us to do on radio because there's a lot of ins and outs in this conversation. I do hope you and I get to have a personal session so that
I need to try to get your number. When you were giving it out, I didn't have a pen.
Okay. Yvonne, do you have access to a computer?
No, I don't right now because I'm just moving back and I don't have those.
Okay. So what you can do is you can call the center, and I'll give you the number.
Okay.
It's 561 682-0955.
561
682-0955.
0955. You'll be hearing from me in a day or so.
All right. Call the center and tell them you'd like to pay for a phone session and that you don't have access to a computer. They'll take the information from you, and then we'll reach out to you with a schedule.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Yvonne. God bless you, and we trust that this mink turns up, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye for now. Bye. 888-565-1470. In our 7 o'clock hour, when we begin that hour, we've got Stacie Haller, who's going to be joining us tonight, answering our questions about life right now as where the planets are. We've got a few changes in the planetary lineup, and she's going to be sharing that with us. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, hark, I hear the phone lines ringing. We're going to come right back to your calls and also answer our friends' questions on Facebook and YouTube. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. Phone lines are jamming, and we are connecting to all of you. And we are going to go to Naples. I have Angie on the line. Angie, how are you tonight?
I am good. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing well. Good to connect with you again. And what is your question for us tonight?
I just want to know if any of which loved ones from the other side are around.
Okay, great. So we're going to open up the energy and have a little conversation, giving them a chance to step forward for us here, Angie. So when I look at the energy around you at this time, the first thing that I am made aware of is this is actually the meaning of life is something that you are embracing at this time, having life and purpose. This has been something that's been very important to you. Is that true of recent? Yes. And also expansion and connection. They're showing me this vast expansion in your learning to connect. You're wanting to be still and kind of feel that whisper of God. Does that also make sense to you, my dear?
Yep.
And when I look at the energy around you as well, financially, I see us moving up, up, up. I see increase, financial growth. I see like a new project, a new advancement. So are we earning a little more at this time right now? Things are moving a little more, please?
Yeah.
Do we deal with a lot of contracts? They're showing a lot of papers around you, please? A lot of paperwork?
Yep.
Okay. And these contracts, they come and go? Does that make sense? Are we in homes or what do we do?
Yeah, I'm a realtor.
Realtor. Okay, just wanted to make sure that's what it felt like to me. And even though I've spoken with people, I never retain the information to really remember everyone's individual story. So, Angie, when I connect into the energy, a man steps forward, father's position, makes me feel like it's a father's energy. Did your father pass, please? Father, grandfather? But I feel like I place it with the dad. Father, all right? Father's energy steps forward. Interestingly enough, I feel like he was missed at the Father's Day gathering. There's like a missing of him at that time. This was something that was honored at that time when your father was alive. We made a big deal over the Father's Day gathering, please.
Yes, we did.
And interesting. Do you have a picture of him with a shirt that says "Dad," please? He's showing me you may want to check for this one, because he's showing him a picture, and across his chest it says "Dad," and it looks like the shirt says "Dad." He's kind of honing in on the energy of the shirt, as if it has some significance or meaning. And this may require you to go back, but there's something that he's showing me regarding that shirt. So it must have been a particular celebration or recognition of him that made him feel so special. He makes me also feel that there's some connection that you felt. Did you feel him in a dream? Because he makes me feel like he's come to you. He makes me aware that there's a birthday anniversary connected to him around this time, something significant. Does that make sense?
Yeah, my son, his youngest grandson's birthday's next week.
Oh, okay. And so there's a celebration in play, please? Yes? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He will be present for that. And I get the sense that you're feeling his presence more and more as you've become more centered in just being. I also see a trip for you. Is there a trip that you're going on? Because I see not too far. I don't see us leaving the country, but I do see a trip coming. Something you have planned, please?
Yeah, we usually go up to Georgia every August to honor him.
All right, there you go. So thank you for that. He will be there, and that celebration of honoring him and that honoring of life, he is with you, my dear. All right?
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Angie, for calling us from Naples. We greatly appreciate your following the show, and we know it's going to be a great summer for you. All right? Much success.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thank you so much.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. 888-565-1470. I just love when we get those connections from our loved ones on the other side, and they step up, and you know what? Her father's so ready for that celebration and that honor of him. It's always such a good feeling when we know that our loved ones are there and they're ready to show up for us. I'm going to go to West Palm Beach. So from Naples, we're going to West Palm. I've got Ivelisse on the line. And Ivelisse, how are you tonight?
Hi, how are you?
I am doing well, my dear. Good to connect with you. And this is a powerful time for you. It is a really important time for you to step into who you've come to be. And I know you've had many reinventions and explorations as to what that could be, the expression of you and the meaning of your life. Besides to raise such fabulous children and have a fabulous family, it is really about where do you belong in this world today, and what is the gift that you've brought to it, and how can you best express yourself? These are questions that you've been asking very often lately, yes?
Yes, I have.
Yes. And of course, you know, there's such warm relationships with family that each member of your family has their own unique meaning. And even though we don't always agree, we agree to disagree, but we still have that unit before us. So as you've sat back and watched others move forward, you're kind of wondering, when is it my turn and what's my gig on this earth? Mm-hmm. So what's your question?
Exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
I sit here sometimes and try to do that never goes through well. I'm stuck, and I try new things and it doesn't go well either.
Right.
And it's just like falls apart. And I feel like even my whole my family too is like falling apart, separating, and it's like, what's going on?
Well, there's a big shift going on in the personal level for you, and this is a time for you to maybe stop trying to do something on your own and be a part of something first. Your primary goal was to keep the family together, and now the family's going off in all of its different ways. And the men in the family aren't seeing eye to eye. Is that true, please?
Yeah.
Okay. I see a divide, be it father and son. There's some divide going on, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And so in that divide, that makes you feel like you're caught in the middle. But I've at least what I see here around this is, at this moment in time, you have to let them work that out. And there's nothing more you can do. You've brought them all together, and you've kept the peace at the expense of yourself. My guides make me feel like there's a opportunity for you, but we need to go out and seek a job underneath the roof of another before we go back to revisiting an entrepreneurial experience, because it's been too many distractions and too much that we've encountered in the journey, all right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was kind of like to school, but I'm
Unfortunately, your phone's cutting out for us a little bit here, but I thought I heard you say you went to school for something, yes, and then it was interrupted, yes? Yes.
And then my job is like,
okay.
Days, like I'm not how I used to, so it's like, should I take a chance going to school or should I wait? It's like, I don't even know. It's,
Right. Well, let me say this to you. Yes, take the chance, do what you can to involve yourself in something that will stimulate your inspiration. And then you and I are overdue for a personal session. I think it's time for us to peel back the layers, all right?
Yeah.
All right. We're getting ready to be waved off for the first hour, but I thank you so much for joining us here tonight. God bless you. I send you my love to your entire family.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. And you know what I love about this light that we have here on WWNN? It brings us all together, and we get to share our experiences, and everyone's question brings everyone an answer. So stay with us, everyone. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
The brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light. There's a light. There's a light.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies is here. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. Now, get ready to twist your way to 60 minutes non-stop of the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful 2 hours of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
Are you looking for answers to life's questions? Would you like to connect with your angels and loved ones? Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. for Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, an interactive call-in show. Call in at 888-565-1470 and speak with Sarah Spiritual. Let Sarah Spiritual raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions and to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
South Florida.
And we are here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9, answering your questions. And we have some exciting classes coming up at the Expedito Enlightenment Center's online classroom. I sure hope you join Sarah Spiritual. And we've got our money class. Do you want to know how to attract abundance and bring more of abundant living into your life? More. How do you like it? Well, I like lots of abundance. And if you want more abundance in your life, join us for our fabulous class. It is online, and it is July 12th. I was going to say the 7th, July 12th of this next couple of weeks. We're going to join you for this fabulous manifestation and money abundance class. That is going to be July 12th, and the cost is only $11 because we want to show you how to create more with what you have. And in these times, we want to be able to find multiple streams of universal abundance to flow to us. And then we have another class coming up the following week, and that is the 21st. So from the 12th, we go to the 21st. We're kind of flipping the numbers on you. And we are so excited to bring a class on how to sit and meditate and bring some ritualistic practices in your daily life that bring in results and create protection and connect to your guides and your angels. So I sure hope you join me for my fabulous ritual class. It is really going to help you with everyday life. And that class is only $13. And then if you'd like a personal session with me, Sarah Spiritual, if you've been listening to shows Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as I know many of you do, many of you call me and you say, I heard you in the car. I was just driving and I only caught a part of it. I was so blessed to talk to someone just the other day. And she said she was listening to the show. She grabbed the number and she and I were able to connect for a personal session. So if you would like your personal session with me, Sarah Spiritual, go to sarahspiritual.com. Check out the different types of sessions I have and my complete product line. And if you're local in West Palm Beach and you'd like to visit our center, we would love to have you. There you'll find a wonderful array of spiritual products, books, incense, oils, bath sprays, crystals, and jewelry. We've got herbs, so many things to assist you in connecting to the divine. Sure hope you join us in West Palm Beach at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, and we look forward to seeing you there. We're going to go to our phone lines, but we have a special caller at this moment because we have our guest astrologer. I can't believe it's the beginning of the month already. And she is the connection to the stars. A matter of fact, her website is Destiny in the Stars. And I want to talk to Stacie because I heard the planets are lining up for some spectacular movement, and we've got to hear how that's going to impact each one of our signs. Because with all this planetary movement, I want to make sure we're in the right place at the right time. So we're going to welcome Stacie Haller of Destiny in the Stars. Stacie, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. I'm great. Always happy to be with you.
Time is flying. Do you realize that you've been on this show for coming up to almost a year and a half already?
No, honestly, it goes very, very quickly. But my favorite part of the week of the month is when I get to join you and your host talking about what's happening in the sky.
We love that, right? And I just see all the stars in the sky, and I think, what must Stacie be thinking as she looks up there? So, and I know you have all your little gadgets that help you line up with the stars and really understand the placements and how it impacts each one of us. So tell us, what's the language of the stars and the planets for us in this month of July?
Well, as always, Sarah, your wonderful introduction and theme tonight totally aligns with what's happening in the sky. Because as you know, we're halfway through the year.
Yes.
And we have this supermoon in Capricorn on the 13th, which is really our check-in time from our new moon when we started on January 2nd in the beginning of the year.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize that. So we have some accountability. Do I need to have my report card ready?
Well, it's sort of in check-in time. It's our own check-in time.
All right.
And especially with a lot of the evolutionary planets are now in retrograde. Everything is telling us stop and take a look at who we really are. Are we on our path? Are we fulfilling our mission of the goals we set forth in the beginning of the year?
Okay. And so how is that going to impact all of us, right? So it's so many of us are going through so much at this time, the collective, us individually. So how is that going to play out for us this check-in time?
So we're going to take a look at everybody in this month as to where the supermoon is. So it is a super full moon called the supermoon because it's the closest to the Earth in its orbit. So we'll look at the signs because where that supermoon falls and that full moon is going to be important to your sign, as well as where the sun is, because the moon and the sun are pertinent. The only thing I want to mention for everybody is also on the 19th, the sun and Pluto are in opposition. So there's an extra little kick there for transformation for where we need it. So pay attention as to where these things are falling, because the evolutionary planets are all in retrograde saying, stop everybody, let's do a little reflection. Let's make sure we're being true to ourselves.
And it's really a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call, right? When Pluto is in that state, and it's kind of like, wake up, where are you? And kind of really, what do you want to change, right? It's going to push us for that change, that transformation.
So if there is a big shakeup for you on that day, that is the area in your life that the energies are saying, pay attention, you need to make a change here.
Okay. All right. What signs are we starting with today?
All right. Well, we'll go around the zodiac clock. We'll start with the first sign, Aries.
All right.
So for Aries, your full moon is in your career sector. So you folks should be looking at maybe it's time to shift gears. Maybe there's a new way of looking at your career, that's a new road you want to go down. While your sun is in the fourth house of home. So your focus this month is on family and home and security. Now for Taurus, this supermoon is in your ninth house. That's about travel and adventure. Plan a trip, take a class. If you've been wanting to burn and venture into something new to learn, this full moon will trigger that for you. Now the sun is in your third house. That's your community, your local neighborhood. Get out and socialize, share your ideas with people in the house of communication. Now Gemini, so Sarah, pay attention.
I'll try.
All right. The supermoon this time is in your 8th house. Now, the 8th house has to do with your close, personal, very intimate relationships. So this will help you see the truth in those relationships. But it also has to do with your investments and joint money partnerships. So the focus could be there too. Now, your sun is in your house of money and work. So this should be a very productive time for Geminis for making money if they're aligned with your goals and what you want to be doing. Now, Cancer, happy birthday, Cancer. Now, this full moon is in your 7th house. That's partnerships, business partners, romantic partners. So this supermoon will have you taking a closer look into these relationships, and you might be doing a little singing, should I stay or should I go? So see what's working for you. Now, your sun is in the 1st house, and that's all about you. So for your birthday, Cancer, maybe you want to get a new look. Maybe you want to shake up your hairstyle, new clothing. You're really in the spotlight this month. Now, Leos, this super full moon is in your house of everyday schedules and health and work. So this is the time to get organized, take care of your body, check in on your wellness. While your sun is in the 12th house, and the 12th house is where you need to rest and meditate and heal and take care of yourself. At least until for you, Leos, when you kick in on the 28th, then you'll be ready to rock and roll. But until then, do some healing. Now, my Virgo friend, this full moon is in your 5th house of romance. So I want you to be thinking, Virgos, did you meet somebody 6 months ago that might spark up for you now? 5th house is also the house of children. Somebody out there might suddenly be surprised with a pregnancy. But it's a great night to go out and have romance. Now, Virgos, the sun is in your 11th house of groups and friends and socials. So you're mixing it up. Go out and network. Libra, this super full moon is in your 4th house of family, home, self-care. Now, the moon also represents your mother, and it's in the 4th house, so your mom could play a role this month for you. And there might be a change in the home. If you're looking to buy a home or sell a home, this could pick that too. Now, the sun is in your 10th house, so look at your long-term career goals. Look at your connections. Who do you know that can help you in your career? Scorpio, this super full moon is in your 3rd house of communications. If you've been working on a project, this could be a turning point. Get your community to help you out. They're all supporting you at this time. Your sun is in the 9th house, so take a trip. It's vacation time. Scorpios, get out. Go to a foreign land. Learn something new. Sag, the full moon is in your 2nd house of money. So jump on any good opportunities coming your way. Money and work is in your favor. So if you're looking to change direction, go for it. Your sun is in the 8th house. That's, again, intimate relationships. Check out your deep emotions, but it is a good time for investments for you and long-term planning. Capricorn, the full moon is in your 1st house. It's all about you. Voice your truth. Okay? Make sure you're aligned with what you're projecting in the world, that it is your true self. And the sun is in your 7th house of relationships. So where do you want to commit? Who is important to you? Who have you been neglecting? Time to really solidify those partnerships in your life. Aquarius, the full moon is in your 12th house. So for you, this full moon, lay low. It's healing time. There might be some surprise endings for you as the universe is pushing out things you need to change. But your sun is in the 6th house, so there the focus is on your daily routine. Time to get healthy and get into shape if you're not. And Pisces, the full moon is in your 11th house. Connect, network, collaborations could be at a turning point for you. If you have a passion or a social cause, get out there. Now is the time. And the sun is in your 5th house. Romance, creativity, so there might be new love in your life, Pisces. But for everyone, take a look at where you are. This full moon in Capricorn is all about vocation. And Sarah's been talking about calling and your purpose. And this energy will also help you focus on that as well. And take a look at where you be.
Thank you, Stacie. It sounds like we're going to have a very interesting month of July. And it sounds like most of the signs are popping in different areas. So a lot of people, they are comprised of more than one sign. So it'll be interesting how all these signs interact in different families and how things come to the forefront to be seen, held, dealt with, and then how things align. So this will be an interesting time. And it's also a time that we still celebrate America and the birthing of America and this wonderful time of the energies. And I happen to know that Pluto and America's sun kind of lined up. And this is the rebirth of our country in a way, astrologically speaking, yes?
Well, we are in a Pluto retrograde as a country from our inception.
Yes.
So always, as above, as below. And individually as well as collectively. So yes, as a country, we are taking a look and figuring out who we are and who we want to be, as well as individually we're doing that as well.
We're doing that as well. Well, Stacie, as always, it's been fabulous having you here, joining us for Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We greatly appreciate your making time in your schedule. And if anyone would like to connect with Stacie, which we strongly suggest, you can go to destinyinthestars.com. Find out what the stars have in store for you and what your purpose in life is just by hearing what the stars have to show you in this lifetime. Thank you, Stacie, as always. It's been a great connection, and I know our listeners appreciate your wisdom and your time greatly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. Happy July, everyone.
Happy July. Well, everyone, it's going to be an interesting month, and please visit Stacie at destinyinthestars.com. Stacie has also guest taught at some of our classes. We'll be lining her up for the months to come. So if you want to learn more about astrology, Stacie's got quite the array of teachings to share with all of us. And we are really looking forward to growing with all of you. We welcome your phone calls at 888-565-1470. When we come back, we're going to line up our friends on Facebook, our friends on YouTube. We're going to answer some questions, and then back to the phone lines. We've got quite a lot of time so we can talk to you. So stay with us. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Before I walk through the door, do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful 2 hours of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Do you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and we are spiritually speaking to all of you all across the nation at 888-565-1470. We are going to go to our Facebook friends and our YouTube friends and pull a couple of questions from there. Let's see what's going on. Well, we got Faye Paris, and Faye Paris says, "Hi, will this cycle I'm in end? What should be expected? Is my love interest true for me?" So the cycle that you speak of, and it's really interesting that you bring this up because you are actually in this energy of breaking the routine and stepping out of your comfort zone. And it's really a time for self-expression and exploration. Now, the love that is true for you, well, first we must love oneself. And you've been a little hard on yourself. I don't have the birthday of the person that you are connected with, but I do feel as if you're getting, my guides say, the short end of the stick. You're not really getting what you'd like to have from this relationship. So learn to put yourself first, step out of the box, break this routine that you're in. It is going to end this cycle. When I bring you into the month of November, you have much more clarity on the relationship, and you're stepping out and stepping into new light of who you've come to be. And I really feel, Miss Faye, that this cycle will have closed a chapter of things that no longer served you, particularly since 2019. Seems to be a rough couple of years. So now that we're stepping into this 2022 coming to a close, you're going to close out a cycle that really dates back all the way to 2012. Thanks so much for your YouTube question. Greatly appreciate it. We're going to grab another question from our online friends. And we've got Janice Gonzalez. Janice says, "I'm turning 40 next month." Oh, deep sigh. And I'm really sad about it. Will I ever have my happily ever after? I do want to have another baby as well. So, Janice, I do feel like there is another child in your future. So don't give up on that dream. And as far as the happily ever after, I know it's had a few bumps in the road. And I feel right now your happily ever after seems to have hit another little bump. But that's all right. Patience is key. And I do feel that there's the connection that is not going to divide if you just are true and articulate your feelings. There's this wobble of communication between the two of you. And I feel like we're not always on the same communication page. So the journey to happily ever after will definitely depend on your communication, transparency, and your ability to work with each other under the circumstances that you're in. And I have another little one of a soul ready to come down just for you. So let's make that happily ever after come true. Thanks so much, Janice Gonzalez, for your Facebook question. We're going to take another one from Facebook or YouTube before we go back to our phone lines at 888-565-1470. And if you get a busy signal, please just hang up, put us on speed dial. We want to talk to you. We've got another question from our YouTube friends. We've got Mary Katie. She says, "Hi, Sarah. Tomorrow I might have to make a really important decision about my health, and she would appreciate any input." So the first thing that I see here for you is that this year is a year for you to make the right connections with all the right people in the circle that are here to assist you. And I feel as if, and I'm not a doctor, cannot give you any health advice that is medical, but I do feel that we need a little more research and for you not to get pushed into a next step until you understand everything that is required and until you have the confidence in the person that's going to assist you in the journey. I do know that all will be well. The angels are shining upon you, and there will be a recovery from this health bump that you're in. Trust the process. Ask your angels to be with you tomorrow, and know that you have the choices to make based on what is guided from within. Again, don't get pushed into something you're not ready for. Thanks so much, Mary Katie, for your YouTube question. Be sure to send us a message and let us know how you're doing on this journey. Bye for now. 888-565-1470. I've got to go to Joy, and Joy is in Pennsylvania. Joy, how are you tonight on our phone lines?
I'm good, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. So glad you were able to hold and wait. Thank you so much. You know, we look at this energy around you, and my guides are saying, oh my God, Miss Joy is out of balance. Are you feeling out of balance, disconnected? Where are we?
Yeah.
Yes. Round and round in circles you're going. And so my guides also make me aware that there's disconnect and off and on in relationship. Are we having some relationship division, please?
Yes, that is my question.
Lord. All right. Well, all right, here we go. Other person's birthday is?
8/11/85.
Complicated. So, what would you like to know about the person who's private in all matters that matter to you? That's a little uncomfortable, yes?
The energy was incredible. He re-entered my life when I really needed somebody, you know, with my former passing, and I did not expect for it to happen so fast, but we finally actually met, and the energy was just undeniable, incredible. I haven't felt that way about anyone in a long time.
And now we feel this wobble.
Like, did it scare him?
Right.
You actually said I was too hot to handle, but I don't know if that was a good way or a bad way.
Well, listen, when you're hot, baby, so I don't know what to tell you. But listen, what I see here for you is that I don't believe he really thought he was going to get a connection in that fashion with you. And so I don't want to use the word scared. I just feel like he has too much stuff going on with him as a person. And he realized that he was going to have to show up and be consistent because the relationship warrants that, because the connection was that strong. And when I look in his closet, there's a lot of, not that he's coming out of the closet or anything, but there's a lot of stuff going on in his closet. And he's really got to focus on his career and his money and getting his life together. And I really thought he thought it would be some fun connection to reconnect. And suddenly he realized, wow, I'm going to have to show up as a human being that's together, and I'm not together. And so he had to back it up.
The same way, too. But it's motivating. Like, it kicked me in the pants.
Yes. But I am made aware of another thing. I'm made aware of an individual stands above you that we had hopes of marrying. Is this true, please?
With the person above?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought we would have.
Okay. So there's a man who passed that stands connected to you.
Yes.
That there was intention of marriage, even if it wasn't something that got firmed up, but the conversation was had, right? And so...
we consider one another life partners.
Yes, okay. So be it marriage, life partner, all right? He steps forward and he says to you that he loves you. And he's sorry he didn't get to say goodbye.
Yeah.
All right? But you speak with him, he feels you, and you feel him present.
I do, yes.
And he doesn't want you to be alone.
What did you say?
He does not want you to be alone. So,
yeah.
And he also says he's sorry for all the trouble.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I can laugh about it now because, like, now you see it.
Well, the interesting thing is that he always saw it. He just never felt he was worthy of you.
Yeah, it's true.
And now he sees things in God's eyes, and he knows that not only is he worthy, but that you two were destined to be connected. And there is no regrets in the connection because the connection was important in your life.
Yeah.
Okay. And he wants you to know that, interesting. Is there something that you're wearing right now that's connected to him, please?
Yes,
okay.
I am.
All right. And every time you put it on, you think of him, yes?
Yeah, I mean, I keep it on.
Okay. So he wants
a bracelet that his
He
mother gave to me.
Mm-hmm. And those of us who are here on the studio and watching on camera, I kind of was touching my wrist, like I kind of feel that energy, right? And so just know that he's always connected to you.
Yes.
All right.
I feel him for sure. What does he think about this? Should I stay or should I go?
He wants you to have fun.
Yeah.
They have no regrets on the other side because they are in complete love. But the energy that he conveys to me as a human expression only is that he regrets the time that was wasted because he didn't realize there was limited time.
Yeah.
Okay. But know that he says he loves you. He brings you much energy that connects with you. And he also makes me feel like, interesting. Is there a celebration that's close or the same between the two of you, please?
His birthday's the day after mine.
Okay, thank you. Because he makes me feel like there's a closeness in your celebrations of birthday. So thank you for that.
February 13th, he's February 14th.
All right. And you will always have his heart.
Yeah.
Very emotional energy, I feel. He didn't want to go.
Yeah.
He's at peace.
I'm glad.
And this is an adventure for you that you're on with new romance. Let this individual of 811 just step back and do their thing. If they step forward with more communication, great. If not, you just know what intensity and fun can be like. And it's time for you to live your life. You've spent quite a bit of waiting in life for things to happen. And now you need to seize the moment and live in the moment, all right?
Okay.
Joy, it is going to be a year of some positive change for you. So just trust that, getting yourself in order and balance. And when I fast forward you in 2024, when I take us to that moment about 18 months from now, I'm really feeling that moment in time, and I feel like I've shared this timeline with a lot of people. I really feel that many of us have been going through, and you're included in that, some shifts and changes that seem to even out come 2024. So just trust that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for your call. Good night. God bless you.
Thank you so much
Bye.
for everything.
You're welcome. Bye. I love when people contact us from the other side and they let us know they're okay and that they give us a symbol, a sign, a connection that we know that they're always with us. And from Pennsylvania, I've got to go to Georgia. I've got Carrie on the line. Carrie, how are you tonight?
I am great. I'm so blessed to be able to speak with you.
I'm honored to speak with you. Is this your first time connecting with us?
Actually, I've had private readings with you.
Well, welcome back. Thank you so much. So grateful to connect with you again. I'm tuning into your energy and wow, wow, wow. So feeling changes, feeling shifting, and this is like a new attitude, a fresh start. You're kind of lifting yourself up in the energy and really wanting to feel free. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Carrie, what is your question for me tonight?
I have a couple, but
all right. Well,
one of them.
What's the burning question?
So most importantly, besides my health, my son's birthday is 9/7/85.
Okay.
And he recently went through a divorce, and his sisters, he quit talking to them because he thought they were siding.
Oh, and there's a disconnect, and they're not talking, and they
Yes.
haven't talked since, yes?
Yes, and will there come a time when he will break that barrier and talk to them?
You know, it's interesting. Your son, when your son gets something in his head, honey, oh my God, he's like stubborn like an ox. And
You're not
I
telling
see,
me anything. I don't
see
know.
this energy, and I really feel like he's mad because he feels like he wasn't seen and heard in this division of the relationship, and that he wasn't honored for how he felt, and almost like you all kind of abandoned him and stabbed him in the back. This is how personal he's taking your daughter's behavior. So when I look at this is going to take some time. And I want to say, yes, they will talk, but because it's going to take time, I'm going to say not for now. But I believe he's going to soften in time. We're going to hope coming towards the end of the year, he gets his head back in gear and he realizes that there's more to the story than what he was willing to hear, because he only heard one thing and blew up, and that was it. So we didn't have an opportunity to explain, and so he doesn't know the whole story. And I also feel as if the person that he was separating from kind of liked to pit people against each other as well. This is one of the reasons why the relationship didn't work very well. And
absolutely.
So I just feel like there's a lot of manipulation even coming from that individual, which is unfortunate. But he needs Carrie to figure this all out for himself. All right?
Are my grandchildren safe with their mother?
What is the young lady's birthday? Do you know?
Hers is June 20th.
So there I see, yes, they're safe, but there I see someone who is not the healthiest mentally. Is that correct, please? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I also see a lot of inconsistencies in her ability to take care of the house and to provide. So this is where she's going to have difficulty showing up as a mother. So are they safe? Yes. Will they need a little bit of help feeling nurtured and loved and acknowledged? Yes, because she's very scattered, very all over the place, and never takes responsibility for her part in the storyline. And this is where your son will have an opportunity to step in and perhaps co-parent with a little bit more accent on his parenting than hers. But they are safe, and it is for them to work through it. I don't see her so imbalanced that she can't handle them, but I also do feel that she's kind of more self-absorbed and caught up in what's going on with her than with them. So this is the energy that I see. But they'll work that all out in the divorce proceedings and making sure that everyone get their fair time with the children, and all the concerns can be aired there. And you make sure that your son speaks up on that matter. But they are safe. I also made aware, Carrie, there's a woman who stands above you, connected to you. She's in a maternal position. Mother has passed, please, Carrie?
My mother has not.
Okay, so then I have to place it with the grandmother because it's the maternal side. And was grandmother having a problem walking before she passed? Was there something that helped her walk before she passed? This woman makes me feel like she was unsteady in her walking. Does that make any sense to you with your grandmother?
I believe she may have been on a walker towards the end.
Yeah. She makes me feel like she wasn't, and it almost looks more like a cane than a walker to me, but she makes me feel like she couldn't hold herself up on her own accord. She also makes me feel as if she has been, it's like she's been trying to show herself to, has your mother been talking about her mother lately, please?
Yes.
Okay.
With me regarding ancestry.
Yes.
Because she was adopted.
Okay, so she's been showing herself to your mother, and this is so your mother's not biological mother, but her adoptive mother. Yes, please? Okay. So she's making me feel like she's been trying to prompt your mother, I'm sorry, I've got so many females in the line, your mother to look into this, and she's been kind of encouraging it. Now, I'm not privy to what's going on, but she's really making me feel like she's been very close to your mother and pushing that information to move forward. So just know that there's a story to be had in all of this, and you have the support of your grandmother, and she's supporting your mom in this journey. So Mom's talking about her for a reason. It's the right time for her to be doing what she's doing, and know that we've got that support from her adoptive mother. All right?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
That's crazy. And then I feel like she was given up early in her birth. Yes, please, in the very early years, like her first few months, right?
I think she was like 12 or 14 months old.
Yeah, very early years. This is how I see it. So she landed in the hands of the right people.
Awesome.
All right.
Can you tell me, I have my left leg keeps swelling, and I do know that I have a huge hair issue.
Yes.
Can you tell me if there's anything going on that my doctors are not picking up on?
So the left leg is swelling. We are not having any side effects from any medicine that I see. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose. But I do feel that we need to have some arteries checked.
Okay.
So we want to go to one of those Life Screen or Life...
I just did that.
Okay.
I can't believe you said that.
Yes.
I just did that.
Right. And so...
I don't have results back yet.
Okay. So it really feels like circulatory, so we want to make sure nothing's blocked or narrowing to create this. Don't feel like it's anything with medicine. So I'm not a doctor. This is how I'm being led, Carrie. But I hope that we've been of service to you tonight. For this moment, we have to conclude our call, but I do hope that we've answered your questions. Just know your family will be well.
You certainly have. I am so happy to have had this time with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for having a personal session with me. That means the world to me that we get to spend that quality time together one-on-one. Thank you.
Going to go on tomorrow and try and book one with you.
All right. I look forward to talking to you, and you'll be in Georgia. I'll be in Florida, but we'll be connected. Thanks so much, Carrie. Bye for now. Bye. 888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we've got more calls all across the nation right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. Phone rings still keep ringing. We're going to get to as many calls as possible. Stay with us. Ring, ring. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your song?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on WWNN, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We're going right back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. If you didn't get through tonight, then please write the number down and be sure to call us next Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm going to go to Tammy in Illinois. Tammy, how are you?
Hi, Sarah.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am well, thank you. I was just choking on a little water that I had. So what is your question for us, Miss Tammy?
So I have a question. I'm renting a house.
Yes.
And the landlord's talking about putting it on the market, and I want to know if I buy this house.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me the house number, please?
733.
Okay. Let me look into this. It's actually a good house for family and connections with people. It's going to bring a lot of prosperity and joy for you. Fair asking price of the house?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. It is a possibility. What does the house go for in the neighborhood, even though you don't know that price of that house? Are they under 200,000?
I do know that it is set for 80,000, but he had told my son a year ago 150,000.
Okay. Well, the market's been a little high, but you should be able to qualify for something in the neighborhood of if he asks for more than that, than the 80,000, which I believe he will.
Right.
You know, I do feel like it's going to come in around 135, 140,000. Do the numbers. You should qualify for that.
So are you saying that, yes, I do buy it?
Well, you have that opportunity. I can't tell you without the numbers, all right? Because there's some mathematical equations. It's a good house for you to buy. The energy is good for you. You've enjoyed this house, yes?
Yes, I love it here.
Okay. So the universe knows that. So now go back and go to a mortgage broker and see what you qualify for so we can see if that's possible.
Okay.
But I do feel it's a good fit for you. How we make it possible, that's what we need to see.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you see me moving?
Well, that's a great question as well. And this year is really about you breaking routine. And at this minute, I don't see a move. And the man is talking about putting it on the market, but he hasn't. And There are a few things that
Right.
have to be taken care of in the house as well, yes?
Yes, yes.
Repairs, my guides tell me. So that all becomes negotiation prices and negotiation for the price. And also, Tammy, what I feel too is, we have to make sure it's all up to code. But as far as an energetic fit for you, it is beautiful. Now do the numbers and see if we can make it work. Is your daughter still with you in the house, please?
No, Sarah, she moved out, just like you said.
Okay. All right. So
my son lives here.
Your son. Okay. So we can maybe combine two incomes, whatever he may be bringing in and yours, that may help you qualify. So I would do my homework so that we're ready to roll and tell the man if he's willing to sell, if he wants to sell, that you would like to have the first opportunity to bid for it.
I did tell him that tonight when he called.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And he said we would sit down and talk, and he would help me.
There you go. So everything's aligning. Now just you've got to do your numbers. That's the part that the universe feels like you can pull it off, but you've got to go do the due diligence behind the scenes, all right?
Right.
All right, Tammy.
Okay.
Thank you so much for following the show. I know you've been with us for years. I so greatly appreciate that. And look how far you've come. I'm proud of you. You've come from some crazy circumstances, and here we are finding a home that makes us feel comfortable and in a whole new phase of your life. And next year is a really important year for love and romance. So we're looking forward to that. All right, my dear. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without your help,
Well,
Sarah.
it's been my pleasure. My pleasure all the way. Give my love to your family. Bye for now.
Thank you. God
You're
bless.
welcome. Bye. 888-565-1470. And I've got to go to Chicago. I've got Carrie on the line in Chicago. Carrie, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, Carrie. Good to connect with you. This is an important time for you to kind of wipe the slate clean. Was last year into this year a little bumpy, a little difficult? You're like, oh my God, when is this going to end? It's been rough, yes?
Yeah.
Carrie, before we have to end the show, what is your question for us tonight?
So my question is with finance, really I've just been feeling like I don't know which way to go. I have a son who struggles
in
with
school?
a few things like hard speech, and I've been off work lately just to make sure he's getting the therapy that he needs. I'm not sure if I want to go back to work right now because I don't want to stop his therapy. I do have business ideas that I want to go towards, but kind of scared. I want to know if my angels or my guides have any advice on.
Wonderful. I love the questioning. And I will tell you this, that it's a perfect time to start some new ideas and launch something for a small business. I do see you will go back to work eventually and have a side business. I do see a job coming, but absolutely we have to work with our son so that he can be better for school, because I don't feel like he's able to keep up with everybody right now. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What is your son's birthday, please?
May 18th. I'm sorry, May 27, 2018.
2018. Yes, very, very important that he gets things. And did we have his ears checked, please? Is there a problem with his ears?
I had him checked when he was little, but a doctor has asked me to get him checked. I haven't made an appointment yet.
All right, very important. Spirit's making me aware of that. Did he have some ear infections recently, please?
No.
Okay, keep an eye on that.
He's always covering his ears. He has sensitive ears.
Okay. I feel like something also in his ears, so maybe we want to check the ear canal. We want to just kind of make sure all of that's clear, and we want to work on him feeling comfortable. Is there a bit of energy that's on the spectrum at this time? Is that what the diagnosis is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's on the spectrum.
All right. So helping him step into his authenticity and, tune into his talents is going to be very encouraging for you. He will get in a good rhythm. He will blend well with a group at school. So just keep doing everything you're doing. You're doing exactly the right thing, and he will be fine. And know that he's highly intelligent and highly creative. Encourage that creativity with arts and music. These are things that he'll excel in. All right, my dear.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your call. How did you hear about the show?
I talked to you, I want to say like a month ago, and it was crazy when I spoke with you. I was writing on a piece of paper, dream big. Yes. And when I picked up the phone to speak with you, your first words was dream big.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad we were able to connect the dots for you. And think of your business and get yourself moving with that. Perfect time for that. Thank you, Carrie. We've got to go for now. Thank you for following the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Good night.
Bye.
Well, everyone, I hope we've had a fabulous 4th of July holiday weekend and holiday week. For all of you who are still off for the week, lucky you. But I'll be at the center tomorrow in West Palm Beach. Sure hope you stop by the Expedito Enlightenment Center. Visit me. Check out our fabulous products, our books, our incense. Love to have you be a part of our environment for your spiritual growth. If you'd like to meet with me for a personal session in person, we can do that in West Palm Beach or anywhere across the nation. We are going to connect via the phone lines or video. So go to sarahspiritual.com. We're here with you every step of the way, all this time. And it's time to feel free inside. Step into your authenticity and remember your life has meaning, and the meaning you bring to us as a collective is a valuable, integral part of the tapestry of life. And I'm so glad that we've all chosen to interweave together, because together we are one. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
There's a light, there's a light that opens doors for everyone. Oh, there's a light that touches hearts. There's a light to open everyone.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host.